Welcome to the Freak Show. Let's review Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3, Episode 4, titled Unfinished Business. This episode was written by Nikki Paluga and it was directed by Daniel Nethem. Warning, spoilers. Episode 4 was a huge turning point for the franchise, and the future episodes will make or break the series, in my opinion. We start with Ash. The ghost of his father, Brock, comes to him and says that he needs to show Ash something. He takes Ash into a memory from 2012 and it takes place in his hardware store. A guy comes in asking Brock about his son, Ashley Joanna Williams. And we finally get the revelation of the J in Ashley J. Williams. Now he's from the Knights of Sumeria and needs to talk to Ash, saying Ash is their savior, and he shows the missing Necronomicon pages to Brock. And that's when Brock says that evil ruined his life and the lives of his family, and he insists the guy leave and gives him a kick to the balls, accidentally sending him down the stairs and crashing into the cellar. Now, rather than call 911 or even find out if the guy's okay, Brock just seals up the cellar and goes home. So Ash goes to the hardware store to get the missing pages. Now, after he opens the cellar, the Knights of Sumeria guy isn't there anymore. It turns out he was alive after his fall, and he tried to stay alive by eating Brock's emergency spam stash, but obviously died after being locked in there for over 6 years. Anyway, before he died, he wrote pages of the Necronomicon, on the wall of the cellar, and the center of it opens up, and Ash sees Brandy's friend Rachel that died in the season opener. Okay, then these vines emerge from the wall, entrapping Ash and giving us another hilarious evil moment. After Ash frees himself, Brock mentions where Miss Previtt used to live, and Ash goes there thinking that's where Ruby's hiding, which he's right. Now, mind you guys, she's not there, but he hears humming in the attic and goes upstairs. He finds the blonde tourist handcuffed to the sink, and she begs Ash to be quiet and not wake the demon baby, who is sucking on a thumb not his own. In attempt to rescue her, Ash lifts up the sink and wakes the toddler, and its scream busts out the lights in the attic, leaving Ash to say,
"What's Norway for up Schitt's Creek?"
So, okay guys, the future of Ash vs. Evil Dead hangs in the balance of the Pablo storyline. In the beginning of the episode, Kelly goes home and finds Ash gone and Brock's deadite body dismembered. She says something about Pablo being dick deep in trouble, but Brandy comes back to the house to get her phone and the two girls talk for a moment. Kelly wins the one-liner award for this episode. When Brandy talks about all the death, blood, and dismemberment she's seen lately, Kelly replies, "Makes high school seem a lot less awful, am I right?" That was a perfect one-liner. Kelly refuses to let Brandy out of her sight, and they get into her truck with the intention of going to the hardware store to find Ash, when out of nowhere, Pablo rides up on this motorcycle and hits the truck head-on, smashing into the front windshield and our screens. That has to be one of the best openings since episode 2 of season 1. Now, while fighting Pablo, he bites the lower half of Kelly's leg. The girls get away from him and make it into Ash's trailer. Now, they are safe for a little while because the windows are upgraded with bulletproof glass. While they're inside, Kelly tries to tell Brandy that Ash is a good guy and is right about evil, though he is among other things. They hear Pablo inside the trailer suddenly, and Kelly takes off the bandage on her leg, and Pablo's face comes out of her leg where he bit her. I mean, it was such a great fucking disgusting moment that I just loved. Kelly and Pablo's scream close out their story on this episode. So here's my take on the future of Ash vs. Evil Dead. Pablo being a deadite basically came out of nowhere, since the show has procrastinated on killing Kelly or Pablo. Now, Evil Dead lore says that once you're a deadite, you're a deadite. There's no going back. Well, I guess except in the remake version of The Evil Dead, Mia came back from being a deadite after her brother killed and buried her. but I don't count the Evil Dead remake as like part of the rules, so to speak. And Ash never gets close to people because evil takes them over and then he has to dismember them. He repeats this in episode 6 of season 1 and episode 4 of season 2. Based on the history of the Evil Dead, when, season 1 started, fans like myself just assumed that Kelly and Pablo would be killed because it follows Evil Dead formula. Yet, we're one episode away from the halfway point of season 3, and both characters are still alive. I mean, I'm still shook that he survived birthing demon babies from his mouth. Pablo has survived last year of being killed twice. The first one was a fake out during episode 4 of season 2 when the Delta threw him out of the front window, but it turned out to be a vision. The other was when he was cut in half by Ball. I mean, that was really stretching shit when Pablo survived season 2, but I wasn't upset. I wasn't, because I really love Kelly and Pablo's characters. So in my opinion, the longer we get them, the better. But let's not reach into the realm of insulting fans. In my opinion, if Pablo survives this season, then I'm going to be pissed because it basically takes a huge shit on my favorite show by not being brave enough to kill off Pablo. I mean, it's kind of like the writers have Walking Dead syndrome, where they're too afraid to do something that'll piss off fans. So if the show does follow the Evil Dead rules set forth in the movies, then Pablo's character won't survive the season. And I'll be sad to see his character go, but I'll be happier that the show stuck to the rules and didn't rewrite history to suit their shitty writing. Now, Dalton and Ruby's storyline collide in this episode when Ruby discovers that the portal is open. She talks to a chick in the Necronomicon, I think her name is Kaya, and says that the portal to the Netherworld has been opened and they must close it before the Dark Ones go through it. Ruby says that she'll free Kaya when she finds a suitable host, and that best not be Kelly, because I'm going to be pissed if she picks Kelly. Anyway, after her conversation with Kaya, she finds Dalton's deadite body and uses the Necronomicon to temporarily take the evil away so she can talk to him. Now, guys, I watched this scene over and over, and Ruby said that the spell kept the evil away temporarily, not permanently. So once again, the show has reinforced that once you're a deadite, there's no going back, which is bad news for our beloved, powerful vagina Pablo. She wants to know where the rift is, but Dalton refuses to tell her. Dalton shoots himself, too, in the face before he can return to a deadite and give Ruby all the information she wants. Now, I just didn't expect Dalton to be killed so soon. I thought they'd wait until fans cared about his character a little more. I mean, even Ash's sister Cheryl made it halfway through the Evil Dead movie, and she was the first person possessed. I mean, fuck, Dalton only spoke, what, like twice? I mean, did they forget that they casted him or something? Why introduce the Knights of Sumeria storyline when you're going to kill the only character involved in that story? The only conclusion I can come up with is that the show isn't done with Dalton, such as Amanda from season 1. We never got an answer to her character after she slipped away from Ruby in the finale. Now let me know your opinion of Dalton's demise in the comments, and what do you think they're going to do with Pablo? Will they kill him off or find some stupid fucking way to keep him? What do you rank episode 4? Let me know in the comments. For me, it was a great episode, and I'm going to give it a 9.5. As long as the following episodes stick to the Evil Dead formula. Okay, so if they kill off Pablo, I'm going to continue to love the show. If they don't, I'm going to be quite taken back and a little pissed, but I'm still going to watch. Now, join me at Ash vs. Evil Dead Junkies on Facebook. Link to it is in the description. And as usual, don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on a thing. In the meantime, fuck off, you primitive screwheads.